Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Roby, and MScribe, and today we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin conference in Nashville.
Yes.
How accurate my predictions have been.
In what case? Just in general, right?
Just in general about
software in particular.
Software.
It's officially on.
Yeah, even what's his name? JFK Jr. was looking to bring Jason Lowery as the Secretary Treasury.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
That's quite the thing to say at a Bitcoin
Either
conference.
that or like a strategic defense advisor or something like that.
Oh, well, that makes sense because he's like out there in space, right?
Yeah.
He's part of the Space Force.
Yeah.
Is that in context of Bitcoin or just
It's
like,
in the context. Yeah, the whole conversation for JFK Jr. was Bitcoin. The whole thing. Versus Trump, it was like 20% Bitcoin, 80% everything else.
Well,
it was like a rally, like TJ was saying.
Yeah, I mean,
rather than like, dude, you're here for Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, he's been doing that lately. Like after he almost got killed, he's been like kind of like rambling a bit for some reason, you know? During some of these like...
Yeah, he has been rambling.
Yeah,
you're
like
right.
even during the RNC thing, he just kind of like, people were expecting maybe like 30, 40, 50 minutes tops. I think it was like an hour and a half. He just kind of like kept on going, you know?
That's true.
So maybe it's something, a switch.
Hey, man, when you almost get killed...
Yeah, you're allowed some leeway, right?
Buttons get pressed in your brain and like you just act differently.
100%. But still, nonetheless, from like so leading into the conference, there's a lot of speculation, right? It's like... Well, the main point is saying that like officially he was going to announce a Treasury reserve strategy centered around Bitcoin, right? So that was like the speculation and the hoping.
Rumor.
Everybody was waiting for that. But so basically that, along with a lot of other like bullish statements, I would say, you know, he actually executed on it.
Yeah. So what, do you remember some of the bullish statements? Like,
fire Gary Gensler.
Yeah, that was the most bullish thing that he said.
I think it was. That got the most like positive reaction.
And isn't Gary Gensler supposed to be like the Treasury for the Democratic campaign?
I don't know.
I mean, that's like a nail in the coffin for every
them?
Crypto.
Yeah, you really don't have a choice at this point. And Kamala was supposed to show up, but she didn't.
Yeah, she
I
pulled
think
out.
The Democrats are saying things like, you know, we're gonna.
Well, Kamala's supposed to be doing some research on crypto now.
Yeah, to realign. So politics,
right?
Yeah,
it's just that's BS.
They turned the whole conference into just like this political pony show, right? It's just it was kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a little bit pandering on Trump's side as well.
Yeah, but the craziness of that whole the pandering is like, I guess the industry of Bitcoin and crypto in general is like something to pander to, right?
For sure.
That's like the big takeaway, I think.
Yeah.
Typically, it's like
I feel like that was inevitable, right? I
mean, as like industry value accrues, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
As Bitcoin continue to go up.
I guess my point in it being inevitable is that you could have predicted this. Because money, I mean, we're talking about changing money, how money functions, right? This is like...
Well, it was, for me, it was not easy to predict because I didn't know exactly
true.
How the government was going to react to like the impending...
Yeah, you and I always had a debate on whether the government would react positively to crypto or negatively. And your take was always a negative like outlook for cryptos in the context of the government.
Yeah.
And mine,
they were proving me up until like very recently.
For sure. You're on the ball on that.
Oh, like I told you,
For the 4 years, there was like missiles being launched at crypto.
Yeah, sniping our DeFi founders and sniping
big time
anybody who's fun of anything, like a new protocol that could potentially disrupt.
And in some cases, it was a legitimate snipe. Like they were, violating laws. But in most cases, they were not.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this just might be a political thing moving forward. Like we've had 4 years of evidence of.
Yeah, but my take wasn't necessarily like a positive like embrace of crypto. It was more like if you don't embrace it, you're going to be left behind as a country. Yeah. Like you have no choice. That was always my take.
So that was before also we were introduced to software, right?
That was before that, yeah. That
was randomly shown to us like during a Twitter space. It's like, you guys need to check out this guy and his thoughts, his thesis around I guess the why, when, and how like governments are going to kind of like enter into this new like resource race.
Yeah, I also said,
cyberspace.
typically you think of the government, they're kind of dumb, right? But there's like pockets in the government, people who are extremely smart, like Jason Lowery. It was like, you know what? Bitcoin isn't about money, guys. It's actually cyber war. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And that if you're going to win this cyber war, you better at least accumulate some Bitcoin.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, if you want to just, it's like all of a sudden a new commodity has been discovered, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's
like a new oil.
But it's not like, only a few hands of people get access to it. I mean, if you had your property on oil, some big company would come in and like buy it out from underneath you, I guess.
Yeah.
Back in the Dizzy, right? We're talking late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
So now the oil and like those who control the value of it are in the hands of a few.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like what's going on.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, but still, everybody
like,
has the opportunity, right?
See, but that's the thing. It's recognizing the opportunity. That's what's at stake here, because many countries have not recognized the opportunity of Bitcoin, and so they're sort of like dragging along.
Yeah.
And so the rest of us, anyone watching this video, we all recognize the opportunity. That's why we're really here. It's not so much Bitcoin, but it's like crypto in large part.
Yeah, for us, Bitcoin is cool and everything, obviously, but we're focused on the industry of Web3, right? That's what's attractive to us. And, we didn't start off as just talking about Bitcoin, right? There's other YouTubers or podcasters. That's all they care about. But there's something bigger happening than just Bitcoin, right? It's the entire sector of this technology advancement.
Programmable money. I mean, that says it all. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That's never been done before.
Programmable money, just token wrapping anything, really.
Yeah.
It's undetermined how far that's going to go and what that's going to like enable and unlock.
Yeah.
I mean, here we are experimenting with tokenizing like data.
Yeah.
Native to Bitcoin, that's never been done before. What's that going to result in? We don't really know.
Yeah.
That's definitely not on the government's radar as far as like something they need to consider or think about.
Man.
Well, yeah, I know. But that's my point. That's why like the industry as a whole is really the big story here. Even though Bitcoin looks like it's the big story.
Well,
it's the first mover, and it moves the market around.
Yeah, it's the big story in the context of like countries partaking. They're going to partake with Bitcoin first.
Yeah.
DeFi and all that stuff will come after.
Correct.
Yeah, after like a few decades.
Yeah, well, DeFi's got to do its thing, right?
Yeah.
It's got to make its noise the way Bitcoin has and like prove its longevity.
Yeah, absolutely. Like prove a use case, prove like why it matters.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely a use case. Yeah, I guess you're right. Prove it like a legitimate use case.
Yeah, well, a use case in the sense that we already have TradFi and we're doing fine. But what does DeFi actually do differently?
Yeah.
Right?
No, they're very similar in application, but I guess it's all about accessibility to, a broader demographic and such. Right?
I feel like that's such a underrated comment because Bitcoin, it's kind of like gold, right? But not really. It's not really like gold. It's unlike gold in the fact that we have infinite proof of its scarcity. Infinite. Right? Gold is all around the universe.
Yeah, I saw like somebody, I don't know who, like discovered an asteroid somewhere nearby that had like 150 times or something the supply of gold on it than what exists on Earth or something like that. It's fucking insane. Imagine if we could just like harness that.
Yeah.
Then it's over.
So now gold, I mean, Bitcoin is like this new thing that we've never really dealt with as a human population before. And then you compare that to like traditional finance versus DeFi. It's like we haven't seen anything new in that context, right? Other than like decentralized aspect of it. That's kind of new.
Yeah.
But there's no new property with that.
Yeah.
Unlike Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a new property.
Correct. Yeah, I totally agree. But, as we understand it, as we've studied these markets before, everything starts with Bitcoin. Just the whole show, the industry show of Web3, we have our times to shine. Yeah, I think this upcoming cycle, it's important for all the other sectors of Web3 to kind of prove themselves, right? Like if there even is like a longevity case scenario for all these other, other pillars of this industry, right? Bitcoin has proven itself. That's why it's more comfortable, right? That's why countries are willing to adopt it to some degree.
Yeah,
right?
Look at that oscillator, dude.
That's what it is. It's been oscillating
oscillating on the way up.
Pretty reliably, yeah. So at this point, we've had multiple cycles to kind of confirm this data, right? And build much more sensible thesis around it, right? Where Michael Saylor can go on stage and convince people, you see this little square? Here's this arbitrarily massive square I've just kind of thrown up there on the screen. That makes sense, don't it?
It's called projections, man.
It's called delusion.
Or accurate predictions.
Well, that's the point, right? It's you just put it out there, you just present it. And that's all you got to do, right? If enough people like buy into it, then it manifests.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Even Satoshi said that was going to happen.
It absolutely is.
If enough people believe in it, then it tends to happen, right? So step one is first you got to convince people, right? So put the big square out there. Tap into the belief systems of humanity, right?
Yeah, but look at the trajectory. We have governments like starting to create bills to acquire this asset. Like, I mean, if you understood Bitcoin back in 2010, right? Very few people did, right? Only the crypto cypherpunks did. Mm-hmm. But Satoshi predicted like this could be a valuable thing, right? If you understand like what Bitcoin really is.
Yeah, it had all the right like economic design to it.
Yeah.
As of right now, it's the most proven tokenomic like system on Earth. Like we've had so many more attempts at trying to create like a sensible and sustainable tokenomics. So far, like we said, they haven't proven the longevity equation, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're entering like a new stage in humanity in the sense of like money, because we haven't had an asset like Bitcoin back like fiat currency before. And so I don't know what that means in terms of like our money supply and our ability to expand the fiat currency when it's backed by Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like we're going to be entering something that we haven't dealt with before.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, and I definitely felt that so we're looking at the charts where we were earlier. So leading up to the conference, people were expecting, and it's only been a couple days, so it's not like a definitive like Bitcoin is in perpetual sleeper mode.
Yeah,
maybe the actual catalyst is the bill that was introduced. I forget the senator's name.
Senator Loomis. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, maybe this is I don't know. I'm not well versed in my government logistics and like exactly how long it takes for things to get voted on and such. It's introduced, right?
Yeah.
Into the Senate, or is this like a congressional bill? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but 5% of BTC supply.
That's a lot. How much is that?
It's like 1 million Bitcoin.
It is 1 million Bitcoin. So we were looking also at like whale holdings before this recording.
Yeah.
Binance is number one, right?
Binance is number one with 248,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah. So
the United States is holding about 200,000.
So as of right now, Binance is the number one country in cyberspace.
Yeah, correct.
Like according to like Bitcoin holdings.
It's holding 248,000, but it's holding on behalf as a custodial.
That's true.
Right. So it's a conglomerate.
God damn, that's kind of scary, dude. That's a lot of value they're just holding on to.
Right.
They could just
they could
SBF the hell out of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit.
And then there's anybody can do about it, right?
Well, there's the value of DeFi right there, dude. It's like that's why that's the golden goose. We need a
but USD value of 248,000 is 14 billion. Mm-hmm. To me, it's not a lot of money. That's not that much.
That's a lot in context of like where Binance was when I first like found it in 2017. How long has that been? Like 8 years, 7 years?
Yeah.
Dude, they were like nothing, like the shadiest of all shady platforms.
Yeah, I remember. But one of the best platforms.
Yeah, they had good UI UX in the space that was desperately seeking that, right?
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, before that it was God, I already forgot the name of all of them, dude. Bitrex and such.
Yeah.
I don't know, you guys remind me, dude. It's been a while. These are my early like war days.
Yeah, Binance was my first exchange, so
it was pretty clean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they won out. They did everything right. So here they are.
Dude, Binance was so good back in the day because it was like so easy to understand, like all these charts and lines and
it's unbelievable.
Buy orders and sell orders. Like it was a little bit intuitive.
It was, I thought it was great, and everybody else did. So, but here they are, position number one. But United States, they're, I guess, ramping up initiatives to try and like reclaim that position. Plant that red, white, and blue flag in cyber reality. Right? Yeah. And according to the principles of software, all that means is you need to have the most Bitcoin.
Yeah,
it's the most peaceful of like determinants of who actually has the position of power.
Yeah, and RFK Jr. was advocating for acquiring 4 million Bitcoin, 4 times as much.
Over what time frame? Same time frame?
Same time
5
frame.
years?
But it was 550 Bitcoin per day in purchases.
Damn, that's nice. Nice little steady like drip.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Talk
cool.
about dollar cost averaging, dude.
But that's what's interesting to me. If these are signals that like you said, now the governments understand the value of it,
Mm-hmm.
because apparently Hong Kong is also
Yeah.
like wanting to do this, and this is the signal of all signals. Like all you governments out there, you better start.
It's
planning.
all about speed of government now. It's like
Yeah.
you have to pass all these bills and then voting and all this stuff. It's like
get to
the faster you do this, the faster you can start winning this cyber war.
Yeah, exactly. You got to make this bipartisan, right?
Yeah.
Which is what the United States currently is struggling with. But yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting to see it like this actually manifesting and playing out in real time. I mean, it doesn't look like it because Bitcoin's not going through like this crazy surge of value
Yeah,
yet.
even with ETFs. I mean, well, actually, ETFs brought Bitcoin to an all-time high way earlier than
pre-halving.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the price of things actually do reflect the time in history we're at. Like things are way ahead of schedule for a reason.
They absolutely are.
Yeah, this is a signal of it. So it's crazy. So again, I don't know, the actual maybe button push is whenever this thing actually gets maybe potentially approved. I don't know. I guess the current administration.
I think that is probably going to be the the signal for this cycle. It's not like how it used to be celebrities, that's the top signal.
Yeah, celebrities are actually they're part of the space now.
Yeah.
Did you see Scottie Pippen? He's
yeah, I did see that. He tokenized game 1 of the first
game 5 ball, one of the basketballs of whatever.
Yeah.
It's a notable basketball, I guess.
Oh, the first championship, yeah.
That's pretty cool if you think about it.
Yeah, but it's kind of it's fake.
I don't know.
It's like you have I'm going to tokenize this basketball. You're just making up words.
Isn't that
what the right way to do it, Scotty, is you give this ball to an institution like a vault.
Yeah.
You give it to them, have them hold it.
Give it to Courtyard.
Then you tokenize it, split up however many ways, and then sell it, and then now you got something. But you can't just say these things.
Are you sure that's not how he's doing it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Might be. That is the way to do it, though.
Scotty, you're welcome to join the podcast any moment.
Yeah, dude, let's talk about the fractionalization of the NBA.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it, dude. You imagine how much there's probably a massive market potential there.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
I'd buy a token of this basketball, dude.
Fuck. Yeah,
I would.
Yeah. Michael Jordan was dunking that thing
every day, dude.
I want to know actually the value of that thing. That's cool. That's a cool little experiment, right?
100%.
Just from that angle. Because, other celebrities literally they came in with nothing. Except for Iggy Azalea and her cheeks and stuff. That was about it.
Those are valuable, man.
Those are valuable too, right? But celebrities, they're part of the ecosystem as a whole. So you're right. We need much grander signals for where this market is headed. I can't think of a bigger one than this.
I can't even imagine next cycle. What's the signal then, dude?
It's alien adoption. It's aliens need to come to Earth and be we like Bitcoin too.
It was Elon's we're putting Bitcoin on Mars.
Yeah, I think at that point it's all about, it's got to be the metaverse, right? It's
oh yeah.
Yeah, I think at some point the Bitcoin running the show kind of I feel kind of ends maybe. No?
I mean, at some point, yes. Yeah, 100% yes.
Yeah, well, again, if we're talking about a wider industry and that is really the big picture, and it's something like the metaverse or DeFi becomes front and center stage, right?
Yeah, the next frontier.
Yeah, where it actually does a thing where AI, it actually produces a tangible value add to humanity, like AI has and will.
Yeah.
Right? Something will emerge from this industry. At least I hope so.
Yeah.
That would be quite the failed experiment if 20 years from now we're still just
it's using banks.
You're still just bullish on Bitcoin and everything else is just, pump and dump flops, right?
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Something has to stick is my prediction. Right?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this war is going to pan out. It's maybe the United States acquires for 4 million Bitcoin, but who else is on the charts? I'm curious. It's Russia, China.
For sure. China's going to come in heavy.
Yeah, man, dude. Imagine United States with 4 million Bitcoin, China with 3.5.
Oh my God.
Russia with 2, 1.8, something like that. And that's it. The war is done. You can't really do much beyond that.
Yeah, that's why. If they have that understanding that this is valuable, why aren't they going heavier? Is it to not Make it obvious.
I feel like checks and balances in the government, dude. You can't just like go and spend trillions of dollars. Like,
but they do all the time.
well, they do, but after like they vote and all this stuff,
of course.
right? So
I guess it's more difficult to convince all of government that we should be scooping Bitcoin as opposed to like supporting foreign wars and shit like
but
that.
you know how you do that? You make it a race. So like you race to the moon and you get there first.
Correct.
Right? This is the next race.
Yeah. Okay. But I guess just to recenter on the conference. So Danny Yang has a take because we unfortunately didn't get to go, but we watched all the pertinent stuff.
Yeah.
So, I guess, glory to the internet.
So yeah, glory be. Yeah. So Danny's take is basically like Bitcoin was cool, the conference was cool, but Ordinals is still very small.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be like the most obvious takeaway. It's like Bitcoin conference. I mean, again, it's a 15-year-old community and like ecosystem that's been growing, and all of a sudden you introduce this like this weird club of degens. It doesn't really mesh well with like the existing mind frame of those people. Like you introduce Ethereum and other chains, you kind of come in built in with these like expectations of experimenting and degeneracy and all that stuff.
Well,
right?
yeah, if you enter Ethereum and that ecosystem, you're not buying ETH to hold ETH. You're buying it to like onboard into other ecosystems.
Exactly, to use it for some other thing.
Yeah,
right?
and Bitcoin is like I'm buying Bitcoin because Michael Saylor says it's going to be worth 14 million in 20 years, right? So that's why I'm buying it. I'm not buying it to like speculate on pictures.
Yeah, so that is so typically in our Ordinals analysis, right? It's like we keep the opportunity of Ordinals and the build on Bitcoin space. It's like here's the bubble of value of Bitcoin, right? So 1 trillion plus.
Yeah.
Here's the value of all the other ecosystems in Web3. It's
less than that.
Much less than that. And here's their comparative like ecosystem value to their native token. It's usually like neck and neck.
Yeah.
So it's like with Bitcoin and Ordinals, in theory, we should see something.
Yeah, it's just you're dealing with a level of inertia that.
Exactly.
You don't deal with in other ecosystems.
Exactly. So that is probably like the major takeaways. Like this, all of us building in Ordinals are going to have to do something very significant.
You better make your shit very attractive.
Very interesting.
So that people holding Bitcoin can part away with their most valuable asset in the world.
Yeah, the thing that's actively there's a war afoot.
Yeah, there's a war, yeah.
And you're literally deleveraging yourself from position in that war to like
absolutely
to play in some other arena. That's like it's like a sideshow event, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
So it is kind of inertia is the best word to put. And so as far as what I've seen, so I put out a tweet right now.
Oh yeah.
Based on my like post conference analysis, I might be biased here. I might be a little egotistical. I don't know. I was hoping to see something new in this conference. It's like, man, that is that interesting thing that I think can actually surpass and like create enough generative force as far as like interest and whatnot.
Yeah.
To topple that inertia curve, right? But I didn't see it. All I saw were like more L2s, more scaling solutions, more, contributions to implementing more, functionality to Bitcoin, which is all important.
I'm curious what the pitch for L2s, especially if like you're an investor, what the pitch for L2s is when right now the sats per VByte on Bitcoin is 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what are we scaling here?
Yeah, you're gonna have to take them back in time to like the launch of runes, is like
which was like
a few days,
a bad few hours of expenses, right?
Exactly. So it's like a failed premise to begin with, and we were saying that like in the early days when everyone was freaking out over things like Merlin and such.
Yeah,
it's just you're jumping the gun too soon, lads. You got to figure out what is the actual value premise of this 100%. Bitcoin layer 1 ecosystem. We haven't even figured that out yet.
100%.
But that's what we're actively working through with this whole introduction of DMT.
Yeah.
Working with Benny and Tap.
We got to go back to Ethereum. We got to learn our history. The reason why L2s are valuable on Ethereum is because L1 was choked and was choked hard.
By an actual killer product introduction.
Yes.
Which were NFTs.
And so L2s were critical. Right, we can't just like bring L2s to Bitcoin without some sort of critical, traction here.
Like a breakthrough.
Yeah,
an industry scale breakthrough,
like DMT
and NATs.
Yeah.
All right, let's end it on that, dude.
All right,
guys. Maybe we are biased. I don't know.
No, we're not.
You guys tell
it's
us.
Absolute objective analysis, dude.
I agree.
All right, guys, that's it for us. If we missed anything in the conference, let us know in the comment section below. And as always, do your research. and accumulate valuable war assets.
That's right. Well, hold on. Careful what you say, dude.
Oh, wait.
We're gonna be buying bazookas and shit, dude.
No. Not like physical war assets.
Yeah.
I'm talking about digital war assets like Bitcoin.
Oh, there you go. Much better.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.